So, B'at Hashem, tonight is the 13th of Elul. Yud Gimel Elul is the Hilloula of Rabbi Ben Ish Chai. One of the biggest Chachamim, the Sephardim that we ever had, right? Respected by Sephardim, Ashkenazim, Hasidim, everybody respected him. He was a big gadol. They said he had an neshama of a Tana, right? At the age of 7 years old, he fell into a well, and they thought that he's not gonna make it. Min Hashamayim, they had pity on Am Yisrael, and they gave him back to Am Yisrael in order to write his books, Ben Ish Chai, Ben Ish Chai, Od Yosef Chai, it's over 100 books that he wrote, the Ben Ish Chai. I want to tell you a short story about the Ben Ish Chai, who he was exactly. So he was a big scholar of Torah in Baghdad, right? Passed away around 102, 103 years ago, right? In Baghdad. So the interesting story is, he passed away in Baghdad. But he's buried in Yerushalayim, Bar HaZitim. What happened? Rabbi Ish Chai, he loved Eretz Israel. He had a big love for Eretz Israel. He bought himself, he writes in one of his books, Torah Lishma, it's a mitzvah liknot 4 amot be'eretz Israel. Even if you buy just a field of 2 meters, kiyamta mitzvah, you made the mitzvah liknot. He convinced one of the big ashirim of Baghdad to build the yeshiva in Israel. And this yeshiva is still today, Porat Yosef. Yeshiva in front of the Kotel, right? He convinced himself. Why? Because this ashir, they bring down his name over here, this ashir wanted here. His name was Rabbi Yosef Avraham Machalchuta. He wanted to build a hospital in Israel. And the Rabbi Ish Chai convinced him, he told him, it's better to take care of the neshama before the guf. Hospital is for the guf. Yeshiva is for the neshama. And he convinced him, and he built the yeshiva at Porat Yosef, one of the biggest Faradi yeshivot, right? Rav Yosef came out of there, Rabbi Tzion Abba Shaul, Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka, all the Geonim Sfaradim came out of this yeshiva. This is Rav Fetaya, all B'schut Rabbi Ish Chai that convinced this Ashir to build the yeshiva. I want to tell you a beautiful story about, not so known, for me it's also a new story, about the Ben Ish Chai. They say that in Yerushalayim there was a baby born, his name was Israel Meir. 3 years old, this baby goes to Talmud Torah. He starts going to Talmud Torah. The rabbi, he's starting to learn Mishnayot. He says a mishpat, and the little one recites the whole Mishnah, the whole perek by heart. The whole chapter, he says by heart. So the rabbi looks at him and says, Echu. Says, maybe his father prepared him. The next day, the same thing. He says something, the little one says the whole thing by heart. So he called the father, says, tell me, when do you learn at night with your boy? He says, what? I don't learn with him. I don't have time to learn with him. He says, it's impossible. I'm saying a mishpat, I'm saying one phrase, he's reciting the whole perek ba'al peh. So the rabbi said, okay, maybe the little one learned by himself, but 3 years old. Then the rabbi starts learning Gemarot by himself. He's learning the Gemara, and the little one recites the whole perek of the Gemara. Not Mishnayot, Gemara. So the rabbi said, it's not normal. So he tested him. He tested him in all kinds of subjects. He was just flowing. He was saying everything by heart. So they asked one of the Gedolim, what should we do with him? So the Admor Migur, the rabbi from Gur, said, this baby, the malach, the angel, forgot to slap him on his mouth. When a baby comes out from his mother's stomach, limdu tot kol Torah. He learns the whole Torah by heart. Then when he comes out, they slap him over here because there's po sheka. Po. Noten lo kacha maka, he gives him a slap over here. He forgets the whole Torah. He says the malach forgot him. But they say it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the boy. Why? At 3 years old, he knows the whole Torah by heart. What is he going to do when is he going to become older? He's going to be bored. There's a story like this in the Gemara, that Ben Achoto Rabbi Ishmael came to him, he told him, uncle, I learned the whole Torah by heart. Can I go learn Philosophia Yevanit, Greek philosophy? Amar lo, yes. Try to find a moment which doesn't belong, not to the day, not to the night. And then you can learn. אין דבר כזה. שנאמר והגית בו יומם ולילה. So he said, 3 years old, he knows the whole Torah. It's dangerous for him. What is he going to do? He's going to be bored. He's going to do other things, dangerous things, maybe. So the Admor Migur asked to bring it to him. And he's going to make him forget the Torah. But before they took him to the Admor Migur, they asked him, what do you know? What do you know by heart? We saw you know Mishnayot. All Mishnayot by heart. You know the whole Gemarot by heart. What do you know else? התחיל להגיד להם את כל השולחן ערוך by heart. The whole Shulchan Aruch by heart. Right? And then they ask him, do you know Magen Avraham? He says, no. Do you know Taz? He says, no. Magen Avraham and Taz is 2 commentaries on Shulchan Aruch. Then they asked him all kinds of commentaries. He says, no. He says, why not? Why not? Amar lahem, listen to this. It's something pele. He told them, Bashamayim, they don't learn those Pirushim. Magen Avraham and Taz, this is the basic of Shulchan Aruch, the basic commentary of Shulchan Aruch. No, Bashamayim they don't learn. Bashamayim they learn Torah Moshe Rabbeinu, they learn Mishnayot, Gemara, they learn Shulchan Aruch, Rambam, and listen what he said. Bashamayim lomdim ben Ish Chai. Not Magen Avraham, not Taz, Ben Ish Chai. Ben Ish Chai can recite by heart. So it's Pele that he knows, but to tell you, Bashamayim, by Yeshiva, in Yeshiva Shel Shamayim, they learn the book of Rabbi Ben Ish Chai. Means the halachot of Rabbi Ben Ish Chai. That's what they learn Bashamayim. Huh? So, but this is something interesting that Bashamayim they will machshiv the Ben Ish Chai. There's a story about Rabbi Yosef. When Rabbi Yosef was getting in a certain age, he decided he doesn't want to go out anymore to give shiurei Torah, classes of Torah. Rabbi Yosef every night, Tel Aviv, Haifa, Ashkelon, shiur. In a certain age, he was tired. He says, "אני רוצה רק לכתוב את הספרים שלי. I just want to continue writing my book." He took a decision. He doesn't go out anymore. That night that he took a decision, imagine. בא לו הרב בן איש חי בחלום. הרב בן איש חי came to him, ויש אומרים אפילו לא בחלום, בא לו ככה בהקיץ גם. And he told them, אתה לא יכול להפסיק, you cannot stop. You have to go all over Israel, תשורים. You're going to write your books, but you have to go all over Israel, תשורים. You woke up in the morning, or in the morning, he told לאשתו, זה מה שאמר רב בן איש חי, I cannot stop. If the בן איש חי came מעולם העליון, he came from there to tell me this, I have to continue. So he continued giving shiur. This, as much as he wrote books, it's not like the Ben Ish Chai, but when he said the Rabbi Ben Ish Chai came to him, he says, I respect what he said. He continued giving shiur. זכותו יגן עלינו, you can light a candle, זכותו לשמו ישמתו, אמן כן יהי רצון. ברוך ה' לעולם, אמן ואמן.